this is Brosche, and welcome to West Ranch Honors Pre-Calculus. I have your student either 5th, 6th, or 7th period. Just a little bit about myself. I grew up in Chicago, and I decided to come out to California to college, and I went to the University of Southern California, where I got a bachelor's in math and a master's in educational psychology. I also got to meet my husband in the Trojan Marching Band, so we're both big USC fans. But I moved him back to Chicago. We lived out there. I worked out there for a few years, and then we decided to move back to California and raise a family. And since then, I've had 3 great boys down in that picture. Okay, so here's some really important information about Honors Pre-Calculus. Honors Pre-Calculus is kind of like half a year of pre-calculus and half a year of calculus. It is not enough for them to register for the AP exam, but it will prepare them to take Calculus BC next year if they finish this year successfully. Okay, so we will do calculus this year, but it's not enough to get them ready for the AP exam. Graphing calculators are a really big topic right now. My students have been asking, and I've been encouraging them to get one if they can. They do not need a graphing calculator this year, but it will make their lives a little bit easier. And if they are going to take a math class next year, be it at West Ranch or in college, they might as well get that graphing calculator now so they can get more use out of it and learn how to use it quicker. Attendance is going to be super important, even if it's virtual, because they're going to learn a lot of stuff this year that they have never, ever seen before. And so being present in class is going to make that a lot easier for them. So hopefully they can meet us virtually each day. Grades are a little bit different this year because of COVID, so thanks COVID. Normally, homework is only going to count as 10%, but this year we have decided that 30% seems fair since there's so much more done at home. There's going to be a homework/professionalism grade, so being on time, being polite, being engaged in the conversation during our Zoom meetings is going to be a big deal, and that's a 30% of their grade. The rest of the grade, the other 70%, will be quizzes and tests and finals. So that's a big chunk of their grade, but homework is now worth a lot more than it was in the past. In order to move on to second semester, they do need a 70% or better in this class. There aren't any test retakes, but there are quiz corrections, so that's a good opportunity to improve grades. Also, at the end of the semester, we will have a cumulative assessment, generally the final, that they can replace a low test score with, so that's kind of takes the place of a test retake. It'll be like replacing that low test score if it's better. In terms of homework, we will have homework every night. Right now, we're discussing how we want this to be due. I want this to be fair for the students and reasonable. I know this is all a new situation for them. So right now, homework is assigned, and then the next class, or then it's going to be due a week later. We're in discussion, like I said. We might make it due the next class, but right now I think it's fair to just make it due the following week. You can see their homework on their classroom calendars or in Google Classroom, so those are great resources for you to take a look at. I grade all their homework in 2 ways. One is completion. Did they give it a try? So much of what we're doing is going to be new, and they're not going to get good at it unless they try it. So they're going to get half the credit just for trying every problem. The other half of the credit will be based on accuracy. Can they do it correctly? Not just can they do it, but do it correctly. But if they miss any points, the great thing is they can always fix it and get some points back, some partial credit, as long as they fix it before the test. I do accept late work. I do accept corrections all the way up until the test, and we can still get credit for all that. In terms of academic dishonesty, as an honors class, there's a lot of pressure on these students. They work so hard, but there's a lot of pressure on them. And I know sometimes it's tempting to take the easy way out, and hopefully we can encourage them together that that's not, the easy way now isn't going to help them in the long run. So we want to really encourage that they are honest and they put in their work and they're getting credit for their work. With that said, I do really encourage them to work with their classmates and their friends that are in the similar classes, because it's a lot more fun that way, and they learn better when they hear from their peers. So if you hear them talking or sharing information on homework, that's great. I hope they work together. It's just the tests and the quizzes that really should be done on their own. You may have seen that your student has brought home 2 textbooks for this class. They have the Blitzer textbook, which is the pre-calculus, and then they have the calculus textbook, which is Rogowski. And like I said, we're going to be doing real big boy and girl calculus next semester, so they have both of those. Other resources are my webpage, my school webpage that you can get to from the school website. Also Google Classroom, which is where we're putting all of our notes, all of the videos, all of the homework for this semester, as well as Infinite Campus. That's going to be a great resource to see how they're doing, if they're keeping up with their grades. And we're trying something new. Actually, we're trying a bunch of things new, but one of the new things we're looking at is something called UC Scout, which is a curriculum that was designed by UC Santa Cruz. And they are doing a great job developing curriculum and making videos so that students, if they don't get it in class, they have another avenue to look at and to learn. So it's just a kind of a resource for them and for you if you want to learn some calculus along the way. And then again, we're virtual. So we're all the teachers, all the students, we're all learning so many new things. So we'll keep adding new platforms and new websites to use as resources and to have some fun. In terms of intervention, I really hope they come in for help. Now, they can't actually come in for help right now, but we have intervention hours after class, and I will happily set up a Zoom or a Google Meet with any student that would like help. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays after school are the best time for me. Wednesdays, we have meetings afternoon, so it's kind of hard to meet then. But if those times don't work, if maybe 5 o'clock works better for your student, or maybe the weekend is really necessary, if I'm available, I'll make it work. I want your student to learn, and I don't want them to think that this math is a mystery. I like it, it's mysterious, it's beautiful, but I don't want it to be a mystery. So I want them to come in and get help whenever they can, whenever works for them. So that we are in good communication with your student and yourself and myself, I will always try to update their grades as soon as possible. Preferably the day they turn something in, I like to have their grades updated. That immediate feedback is really important. Unfortunately, with this virtual world, some things can get a little bit tricky, and it's a lot of back and forth between putting it on this system to this system, that system. And so sometimes it can get kind of hairy, and it might take me more than a day, but I will always have it done within 2 business days unless there's really crazy circumstances. But again, I try to get it done the day it's assigned. Give me 2 days before you send an email because something's not updated. But then after that, like, unless it's crazy, you should definitely see any updates on their grades within 2 days of an assignment being turned in. Same thing for emails. If you have any concerns or questions or comments, suggestions, go ahead and email me. I try to respond that day, but again, it might take me up to 2 business days. If it's urgent, please put urgent in the subject line. That way I know definitely take a look at that before I go to sleep that night. Okay, Infinite Campus is not new, but it's still a very valuable resource for us. There's apps for your phone. As a parent, you can do that. You can do it on the computer. Your students have apps. This is where our official grades are. So even though I keep track of their grades on Google Classroom, those aren't official. Whatever's Infinite Campus, that is what is going to turn into their report card. So we want to make sure that those are accurate. If you or your student notice any discrepancies, I encourage you to let me know right away so that I can make any changes that need to be done. There's comments on there too, missing assignments, late assignments. So it's a great resource to kind of see how your student is doing for all their classes. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be doing calculus this year. We're going to be doing a lot of fun things. I love calculus, so we're going to have so much fun. Some things that they might be able, or they will be able to do by the end of this school year in May. They should be able to find the derivative. Maybe you've seen that notation before. We're going to be doing some integrals, which is this kind of like stretched out S. And we're going to be graphing and interpreting. What does the derivative actually mean? What does it tell us about the real world, and how does the graph help us? So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to learn a lot of things together. But if you have any questions or concerns, call me, email me, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I look forward to having a great year with your student. Take care.